Alrighty, welcome back to Final Fantathon, our quest to casually let's play every mainline Final Fantasy game plus some bonuses, and let's play Final Fantasy XIV. We have so much to talk about, but before I start talking, let's figure out what we're doing because I can talk and play this game. We were working on... We just finished that. I'm trying to remember. Okay, well, I remember. We did the dungeon. We just have to go back and say we did it. But we're also level 32, meaning we could go do the job quest now. Yeah, let's get out of here. This music's putting me to sleep. Where? Okay. I tell you what, we're already here. Let's just go ahead and walk there. Hopefully we don't have any issues today, computer issues. If we do, there's really no getting around it. We'll just have to let it happen because I have to play on DirectX 9 because 11 crashes, so just kind of have to make do. I thought about filling out the thing to see if I can play on console, but at this point I might as well just stick to PC, and also I don't want to do that until we're done with the playthrough in case something goes wrong. So anyways, yesterday was the Game Awards. How's it going, Ananda? So happy to have you here. And we watched them live together last night. Bit of an announcement I want to start off with. I've been thinking a lot about potentially adding Thursday nights to our actual regular schedule. For a couple of reasons. I want to have a different time slot for people that can't meet the regular time slot because of work or whatever. And I have a lot of people across the pond as well that time slot's just better for them. But it's always just been bonus streams that I do at night. So I've been thinking a lot about potentially doing like a permanent stream at night. And I think Thursday nights would be the best time. I'm not 100% sold on it yet because I do have to get up in the morning to do this. But we did it last night and it worked out pretty well. So I'm going to try again next week. I'm going to do another Thursday night stream next week. And we'll see how it goes. And then I'll decide if I want to do it permanently or not. So if you're watching this on YouTube and nighttime streams are better for you, be sure to come by and say hi. So I kind of know like you're someone that would be able to be there for Thursday night streams. That would help out a lot. That'll be next Thursday, so if you're watching this on YouTube, it would be this Thursday. And we start about 7 o'clock Eastern, 7 p.m. Eastern, and go to about 11 p.m. Eastern. So that's that. But yeah, we streamed last night, and we watched the Game Awards together, and the Game Awards were pretty great. I was really impressed by just the show itself. It was really nicely paced this year. They didn't have like people up there talking forever, and they didn't have like, they weren't talking about crap no one cares about. They didn't have like a Netflix adaptation take up 10 minutes of the runtime. Like, it was very fast paced. It was like They had 2 ads and then a trailer and then a announcement, and then 2 ads and then a trailer and then an announcement. Like, it was honestly pretty well paced. And there were some pretty good announcements. Nothing that was like insane, nothing like GTA 6 level, but there was some really cool stuff. And yeah, there was no like stage crashing or anything. Like, I think the craziest thing that happened was the Modern Warfare joke. But that was it, really. So overall, it was a really nice show. It was entertaining. But yeah, I want to run through everything that happened at the show real quick. Let's see what we got here first, though. Yeah, thank you very much for the gifted subs to Takedown and Professor Tofu. Welcome back, guys. Now let's go in retro. Ah, you're back. Tell me the Sylph Elder as well. Thank the gods for that. I don't rightly know what to make of the rest of your tale, but I'm full glad FFXIV didn't come to any harm. Ah, but there I go, tempting fate. Run over to Little Solace and secure us peace with the Sylphs before aught else befalls us, eh? Rest assured, I'll send word to our friends of Sharlayan and the Twin Adder both. You've done Gridania a great service this day, lass, and earned yourself a place of honor here at the Druthers in so doing. Be sure and come by whenever you feel like a drop of Kikiran firewater. I think I actually just want the money, because this is worse. Say, friend, there's something I'd like to ask you to see delivered to the Sylphs of Little Solace, this Azima rose oil. As a gift to celebrate the safe return of their tribe's elder and a token of Gridania's desire to unite. The wood is not what it once was. The calamity changed the elementals, weakened them. Until their strength is returned, we must lend them to ours to keep the wood safe. But ours alone will not be enough. We must have the strength of the Sylphs as well. Only by working together and fighting together will we survive together, and the 12's wood with us. The gift I ask you to bear is a symbol of the hope that both Gridanian and Sylph alike will live to see the light beyond this darkness. Wow. Bhaskaran went from being just a bartender to like the savior of the woods. Isn't it? Oh, all the way up there. Let's go hit this crystal. So, let's see. Let me talk about... Well, I guess this has the awards too on it. The awards were actually like really good. There was only one that was like a complete tragedy. The rest of them all were like pretty understandable. And if you were there while we were streaming it, I literally had like a 98% hit rate on guesses. I guessed pretty much every single award. There was like 2 I missed. It was pretty wild. I have enough time to do this. Uh-oh. It canceled. There we go. Nope. Oh wait, it's over here? Where does this actually... There we go. So yeah, I guess pretty much every single award, which goes to show you how like reasonable it was. There was only one that was a completely nonsense. So to start off, Super Mario Bros. Wonder won Best Family Game. It was literally the only thing that Nintendo won and the only thing that Nintendo said the entire night. Nintendo got absolutely, like, I would say ripped off, but like it didn't seem like they cared. Like, they didn't send anyone except Bowser, which is what they did last year, and people gave them crap for it. They were like, why aren't any of the developers accepting their rewards instead? Actually, no, wait. I lied, because Tears of the Kingdom won something too, but... yeah, like, it was weird. They... Not only did they not send anyone last year, but they didn't send anyone this year either. And there were no Nintendo announcements. And most of the games that were announced also were not coming to Switch. So, like, what's going on with Nintendo? Like, it's kind of sad. Like, they're just completely being left in the dust. And I know that, like, the Game Awards isn't the end-all be-all, but with E3 not being a thing anymore, like, the Game Awards is kind of the big game show of the year. So for them to, like, not even announce anything, and I know that they have their own direct, but like so many of the announcements at the Game Awards were for PlayStation and Xbox, and specifically not Switch, which is kind of sad to see that Switch has fallen behind, unless they announce a Switch 2 very soon, which I don't think they're gonna. It's looking like the Switch is kind of getting left behind. So I don't know. A little worried about Nintendo, but I guess we'll see what happens with the rest of the year. But yeah, I'm worried for Nintendo because they seem to just be kind of on autopilot here. And that one announcement in particular was really awkward, was really strange, not coming to Switch, but I'll talk about that later. And then Forza won Innovation and Accessibility, which I thought was kind of lame because I thought Street Fighter 6 should win, but apparently Forza also did a lot in terms of accessibility. I just think that making a fighting game accessible is much more difficult than making a driving game accessible. So I think Street Fighter 6 deserved more credit. Some of the stuff that they did was pretty wild in terms of accessibility. So I don't know, that was a bit odd, but like, not that Forza didn't do anything or didn't deserve it, but I just think Street Fighter 6 deserved it more. Then you had a bunch of esports awards. None of them are really exciting other than Faker winning Best Esports Athlete, which is kind of neat because he just won Worlds. There's this game called Harmonium that was announced. That's like an accessible music game, and the whole game has sign language included, which I thought was pretty cool. Those of you that don't know, my wife actually was going to school for sign language and deaf ed, but then they canceled the program and she had to switch to special ed. But she originally went to school for, and she was thinking about switching anyways, but she originally went to school for deaf ed, so that was kind of neat. Then they showed Pony Island 2, which looks pretty interesting. Go this way, I think, if I can. Yeah. A very popular VTuber won Content Creator of the Year, so I guess VTubing is a go for the future. World of Goo randomly showed a sequel, World of Goo 2, after like 15 years. We got Kratos doing another speech, and they made a bunch of jokes about him making long speeches. And like, how do I, what? There we go. Sometimes it's weird going around the menus on controller. So they made all these jokes of like, haha, I promise I won't make a 8-minute speech this time, haha. And then he immediately drops a Modern Warfare joke. And I was dying because I was like, Jeff specifically was like, please don't ruin my show again. And then he proceeds to like ruin his show again. Because he does a Modern Warfare 3 joke, which like, joking about games is one thing, but he like specifically said, I think the joke was, even though I made this speech short, it's still longer than the newest Call of Duty campaign. Which is like specifically what Call of Duty is being like thrown under the bus for at the moment. And then right after that was a Call of Duty ad. So that couldn't have gone over well with like Activision. So yeah, pretty sure he should have said that, but I guess that's just his thing now, is just ruining the show. But other than that, it was good. He was funny. Then Neil Newborn won Best Performance in Baldur's Gate 3, which is a theme. As you'll see, Baldur's Gate won like everything. But that was cool because he was really emotional and he was up against tough competition. There was a game called Metaphor Refantasio. Probably one of the biggest announcements of the night. God of War Ragnarok's getting a free DLC. It's a roguelike style dungeon that still has like story. It's not just a dungeon, but like it has its own story. So more God of War, like an actual real DLC with story and everything, and it's free. And it released that night. Or no. Wait. No. Like 5 days from now. December 12th. So in like 5 days, we all get a free God of War DLC. That's pretty wild. And they like specifically said, like, we're doing this for the fans. Like, Merry Christmas. So, thank God for Santa Monica. They are putting the game industry on their back, honestly. Oh my god, there's like a war going on. How's it going, Marsh? So yeah, that was pretty incredible and great news for... There's a lot of good news for Sony fans at this show. Then the creator of Untitled Goose Game showed off a game called Big Walk that looks pretty funny. It looks very unique as well. Oh god, they're in the base. How many of these do I have to kill? Holy cow. I like barely made the level go up. Heck yeah, I ate that gnat. Then you had Matthew McConaughey came out and talked about Exodus, and that was pretty cool. I said at the time, I was like, on a scale from 0 to 10 in terms of celebrity cringe, he was like a 1. Like, he didn't come out and he was like, I love video games and, you know, I played Madden. Like, he actually, like, talked like a regular human being, and it was pretty nice. And Exodus looks pretty cool. Then they showed a collaboration between, and this is a theme of the night, is collaboration. A collaboration between Dave the Diver and Dredge, which is a very interesting collab, but looks really cool. And Dredge and Dave the Diver are two huge indie games that came out this year, so it's cool to see them team up. Instead of something like, you know, instead of them like collabing with someone bigger, they collab with a fellow indie creator. It's kind of neat. They're both very popular. In fact, they were both up for indie game of the year this year. Then there was a Viking concert that was freaking sweet. 10 out of 10 recommend you watch that. That was to talk about Senua's Saga, which also looks pretty good. Then Alan Wake 2 won Best Narrative, and I was like, here we go, Alan Wake's gonna take everything, but they actually didn't. This was actually one of the only awards they got. I think they got maybe 3 overall, I don't remember, but yeah, surprisingly they didn't, like, take everything. A gift from Walking One Bascaron, a gift for these ones? Such a lovely scent. This one has never smelled anything like this before. Walking One Bascaron and Adventuring One are very kind. Know that this one is deeply grateful. Many walking ones are scary. Many walking ones utter many lies and much deception, but this one is moved. Let all these ones be friends forever. Now those I'll take. Got a bunch of stuff I can't use. Antelope shank. Can I organize, or does it auto-organize? I guess I can just do this. This one has been expecting Walking One. This one fetches Elder One. This one is pleased to see Walking One again. Welcome to the home of these ones. Guys, don't blow it like you did last time. Ah, there you are, Petra. We have just been hearing tell of your deeds of daring do. Well done. Ah, the Walking Ones who aided Neuraxia. This one is grateful. A pleasure to have been of service. If you do not mind my asking, how did your misadventure come about? This one does not mind. The misadventures, as Walking One calls them, of this one began when Imperial Ones entered the woods. Fearing trouble, these ones decided to watch Imperial Ones closely. But these ones watched too closely. Imperial Ones noticed and tried to catch these ones. Having nowhere else to hide, this one fled to Todorok. Would that this one had not. In Todorok, a sinister one robed in black tried to feed this one to a many-legged one. A sinister one robed in black? Why do I have a feeling I should be more worried about that than I am? Elder Frixio, we come to you as emissaries as the nation of Gridania. This missive bears the words of the Elder Seedseer. This one sees, so Walking Ones of Gridania are fearful of Lord Ramu. Plainly put, yes, your people summoned the Lord of Levin but once, yet that single occurrence occasioned great alarm. But it's not as if the Gridanians dislike you or anything. Actually, it's just the opposite. They think of you as friends, and they don't want anything to get in the way of that. That's why the Elder Seedseer wrote to you. This one well knows and respects Horned One, Kani Senna. Be assured, like Walking Ones of Gridania, these ones have no desire for conflict. These ones resorted to summoning Lord Ramu to protect the wood from Imperial Ones. This one counseled against doing so, but was not heeded. Against this one's wishes, Lord Ramu was summoned, and all those ones who took part became Touched Ones. These ones want so desperately to turn Touched Ones back to normal ones, but did not know how. And still do not know. Touched Ones, meanwhile, wanted to turn these ones into Touched Ones, and did know how. So this one fled to Little Solace with all those ones who did not wish to be bound to Lord Ramu. The walking ones of Gridania need not fear touched ones or Lord Ramu. Unlike other primal ones, Lord Ramu is not callous and cruel. So long as walking ones do not trespass on these ones' ancestral homeland where touched ones reside, walking ones will not suffer thunderous judgment. But this one has spoken enough of touched ones. This one would speak instead of these ones. As this one said, these ones desire peace with walking ones of Gridania. And so these ones ask for a chance to set things right. How's it going, Barf? How's it going, Kozan? By way of an addendum, mortals who are tempered come to take on the qualities embodied by the primal in question. In the case of the Sylphs, Ramu's influences made them fiercely protective of their homeland. That explains why they're so hostile towards trespassers, but what about the abductions? A fine question, Ida. The abductions are, I believe, an expression of the tempered Sylph's desire for reconciliation, another quality traditionally associated with Ramu. In the crudest manner imaginable, they seek to bring their fellows back into the fold, a timely reminder that the challenges posed by each primal are unique. Elder Frixio, we thank you for making your will known to us. The people of Gridania will rest easier in the knowledge that they and the Sylphs are united in their desire for peace. Wishing to cooperate, this one has written down the feelings of these ones. Please see that these feelings are conveyed to Horde 1 Connie Senna. And with that, I believe we can lay the matter of Ramu to rest. That Sylph Elder is very reasonable, I must say. You could learn a lot from him. Was that a jibe? Was that a jibe? Was that like a jab? If so, I feel it only fair to observe that one of us wouldn't recognize reason if it punched her on the nose. Did I say fair? I meant reasonable. Anyway, we're going to head back to the Waking Sands and tell Minfilia all about it. Fear not. We will be sure to mention the instrumental part you played in all of this. You mean I literally did everything? And while we see to that, we should appreciate if you were to deliver Frixio's missive to the Adder's Nest. Elder Frixio, we humbly thank you for your time. It has been an honor. The honor is this one's. Together let the walking ones of Gridania and these ones find a way to live in peace. Good, go away. Please wait, walking one Petra. This one has yet to give walking one a token of this one's appreciation. When these ones summoned Lord Ramu, these ones were gifted this crystal. This one would now bestow the crystal upon walking one as a symbol of these ones' trust. I find it hard to believe she would give this to us, but I guess they kind of had to make it happen. Yo, Cyclone, thank you for the full year, man. Thank you, thank you. It's funny you mentioned that you haven't been able to catch the stream because of work, because I was talking earlier about how I'm thinking about doing night streams as a permanent part of the stream now, so that might help you out. We're going to do a stream next week, Thursday night, and if that goes well, I might be doing Thursday night streams from now on, so that might be a time when you could come by. This one was not mistaken about walking one. Oh wait, maybe she knew. Walking one is destined to walk a fate far crueler than this one can imagine. A brilliant light from within walking one enveloped the crystal this one saw. Mark this one well, that crystal will one day be of use to walking one. Walking one must keep that crystal safe at all times. Alright, so she knew. That'll make sense. Before walking one returns to Gridania, this one would ask walking one to watch touched ones. So long as touched ones are not troubled, touched ones will not make trouble. If walking one witnesses touched ones making no trouble, mayhap walking one can testify to walking ones of Gridania that these ones mean no harm. These ones' homeland is fraught with danger. This one marks down safe places to look out for touched ones. Whatever you say. Well, for you, I think night would be like right before I start. So it might actually work out. was I gonna do? Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to remember how to press buttons. Oh, that's right, we have to do it at a... I look like I'm wearing a sweater dress. I guess I'll do it later. At least better. The annoying cabbage fairies. I didn't mind them. Reading the text was kind of fun. I didn't like saying walking ones over and over, but them calling themselves these ones was kind of cute. You gotta think of the gifted sub to Mark Fu. Welcome back, Mark Fu. Oh, level 40 Ochu. Yikes. Aren't I supposed to do something here? Oh, I have to do... I find it weird how many missions involve you typing in something, given that they wanted to make this really console-friendly. These are tempered sylphs in the distance. You do not sense that they pose a danger if left alone. Let's fight them. Oh, that's it. Now we just go back. Okay, so then we had Ikumi Nakamura showed off Unseen in her new studio's new game. She was an absolute treasure. We must protect her. She was fantastic. The creators of Ori showed off No Rest for the Wicked, which was bittersweet because the theming of it, like the cutscenes and the music and the whole like look of it looked great, but as soon as it got into the gameplay, it just looked like every top-down adventure action game ever. So it was a bit of a shame. I hope that it looks better. Like, I don't know how far they are in production, but just did not look exciting like the actual gameplay. But, you know, it's the creators of Ori, so hopefully it shapes up. Then Cocoon won Best Debut Indie Game. I was not shocked at all. That was what I said was going to win. Did have some really stiff competition though, so it was cool to see it win. Then Sega randomly... So they had this trailer where they showed off Jet Set Radio, Shinobi, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, and Crazy Taxi. All is like remakes, I guess, or like reboots. But like it was all in this just kind of trailer of like, hey, we're Sega. And then after the trailer, Jeff was like, wow, Sega, it wasn't enough for them just to announce one game. They announced 5 games. And everyone's like, yeah, but that was just like a B-roll. Like, they really weren't announcing them. They were just saying, like, we're working on these. So, it was kind of weird. Like, it was not really an announcement. It was just like, these are some things we're working on. Like, they obviously didn't have anything ready for the Game Awards, so instead they just threw together a bunch of crap they were working on. But then they acted like it was 5 separate announcements. Like, no, it was not 5 separate announcements. But, having said that, seeing that they're working on something Jet Set Radio is pretty hype. Don't know what it is yet, but the fact that Jet Set Radio is getting anything at all is super hype. So, that was cool. Ah, Private Snake Boat. How went the meeting with the Sylphs? A missive from the Sylph Elder himself, if I may. So the Sylphs have no desire for conflict, nor do they intend to summon Ramu. And so long as we leave the Tempered Ones be, we need not fear any aggression on their part. The Elder Seeds here will be overjoyed to hear that the Sylphs have welcomed our overtures. And in the knowledge that they bear us no ill will, we may channel our resources towards tackling the more conspicuous threats to our security. You have done our nation a great service, Private Snakeboat. It will not be forgotten. The Sylphic folk have long been friends of Gridania. To mere thought of being at war with them pain the Elder Seeds here to no end. But owing to your efforts, you will be able to rest easier. Being the benevolent soul that she is, my lady will surely try to find a way to reverse the tempering process. Once again, I thank you. Had the Scions of the Seventh Dawn not offered to mediate between our peoples, suspicion and doubt may well have led us into needless conflict. Pray pass on the regards to Lady Minfilia. Hello? Hello, Petra? Can you hear me? It is I, Minfilia. Ida and Papalymo returned some little while ago, and they wasted no time in regaling me with the tale of your exploits. Thanks in large part to you, the name of one primal may be struck from our list of enemies, and the Gridanians may turn their attention to more pressing matters. Well done. Yet the end of our tale is but the start of another. Pray return to the Waking Sands at your earliest convenience. I would apprise you of the present situation in person. You could have told her what he said just now. Just saying. Pray return. Oh yeah, right. We don't have to go to the crystal. I keep thinking I have to go to the crystal to teleport, because that's the way it was in 11. Which one is this? Black brush? No. I don't know. Horizon. Okay, then they showed a new game from the world of Dead by Daylight, which is another collab between Supermassive and the creators of Dead by Daylight. So that seems pretty cool. It's called The Casting of Frank Stone. Then, Square Enix's first announcement, first of many, they are making a new Mana game called Visions of Mana. It's a brand new game in the Mana series. It's 3D. I forget what the gameplay was like. I think it was like action RPG-ish, I think. But yeah, it looked really cool. Looked very cool. And it looks pretty far in production too. Which again, like, I don't know how Square Enix, they literally have like 19 games coming out at once. It's wild. I don't know how they do it, but then they showed Rise of Ronin, which was a bit weird. They showed a release date for it, March 22nd, so that's cool, but something about it just looked different than last year. Last year we saw it and it looked a lot more gritty and like I don't know. It just looked different. I feel like the direction of the game has changed in the past year, but still looked cool. Then we got Best Action Game, Armored Core 6, Best Art Direction, Alan Wake 2, Best VR, Resident Evil Village VR, and Best Mobile Game, Honkai Star Rail. The best mobile game was a bit odd, I guess. Well, no, not really. Star Rail's kind of taken off, so. I mean, all those were good. I think the only one I guessed wrong was Armored Core 6 because I said something, one of the other ones, I forget what it was. I said it was either Armored Core 6 or the other one, then I went with the other one, and it was Armored Core 6. Then they showed a new Dragon Ball Z trailer. I couldn't care less. Like, Dragon Ball Z games have actually been doing really well, but there's no, like, reason to show them it. Like, they all look the same. If you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, you'll buy it. If you're not, you're probably not going to, because they're all kind of the same at this point. They keep going over the same stories over and over. Like, it's just, yeah, I'm just kind of over it. Like, and it's sad because Dragon Ball Z games are actually doing, like, the best they've ever done right now. Like, the new Dragon Ball Z game, I think, did really well, but I just don't care about seeing them at shows because it's always just the same deal. Alright, so now was probably the biggest moment of the entire night. They announced a new Kojima game, and it's called OD, and the trailer is only live action. So you just have some characters talking to the camera, and it's really creepy. And then there's a door on stage, and Kojima comes out of the door in this whole epic fashion, because that's what Kojima does. And then he goes over to Jeff, and they start talking. And Kojima says that he's creating a horror game, which already is, like, pretty wild. Like, oh yeah, and we pointed out his red shoes, because you could see him. As soon as the door opened, all you could see was his shoes. It was kind of funny. But, he's specifically making a horror game, which is pretty interesting. Because, like, I think we all probably figured that Kojima could make an amazing horror game if he put his mind to it, but he never, like, has. So him making a horror game is already really interesting. But then he says that it's not just a game. Well, that's true, he did do PT, but anyways, yeah, it's kind of him finishing PT, which in a lot of ways is interesting because they're both two letters, so. But anyways, so he says that he's working together with Microsoft Cloud Technology. That's what he says. He's like, I'm working together with Microsoft Cloud Technology to create a new innovative experience unlike anything you've ever seen. So then it gets kind of sus, because it's like, I want Kojima to make a horror game, and I want it to be his, and I want it to be like a whole Kojima experience. But the fact that we're getting cloud gaming involved just makes you worried that it's going to be more of a gimmick, which can be good, but, you know, like, I'm just worried, because a lot of games, like, they could be a big expansive game, but instead they're limited by what the gimmick is. So, like, instead of being this big 60-hour Kojima experience, we end up getting a 15-hour Kojima experience that's limited by the parameters of this gimmick, whatever it is, right? Which could be a shame. It could also be great, but it could also be a shame. So it's just kind of sus. Like, could be great, could be not great. It just depends on how it goes. But I'm worried about cloud gaming being a part. My theory is that what it's going to be is it's going to be like a living game. So you have to play it on the cloud because they're going to, like, push information into the game as you're playing it. That's my theory. So, like, basically you're going to be forced to play it on the cloud because that's the only way that it'll function correctly, which is a cool idea, but cloud gaming isn't really there yet. Cloud gaming is still kind of the laughing stock of the industry because it's just not, the technology isn't there yet. It's laggy, it doesn't look good, It's not consistent. So, and I don't think cloud gaming is going to be to the point where it's like perfect by the time this game comes out. So I'm a little worried that he puts his heart and soul into this and then it ends up failing because of cloud gaming and not because of what he did. You know what I mean? So that's the only issue. But other than that, it still looks really cool. And then the door opens again and Jordan Peele walks out. And everyone's like we already had like a lot of weird collabs, but talk about the weirdest collab of all time. Jordan Peele and Kojima working together on a project. Like, seriously, top 10 anime crossovers of all time. Like, I was just dumbfounded. Like, what? and then they started talking, and Kojima was like, I grew up as a movie nerd and then became a video game designer, and Jordan Peele started off as a video game nerd and turned into a movie director. And so together we both have this connection. And I was like, you know what? Bravo. Like that, you know, like you got me. Like that makes sense. So it's honestly really freaking cool. For those of you that don't know, Jordan Peele is a comedian, but he's a movie director, and he's directed all those really meta-defining movies that have come out in the last couple of years. Like, what are the names of his movies? They're all the weird, like, 1-word or 2-word movies, like Nope, Get Out. What was the other one? What was the other popular one? His first one, forget. Us, yeah. So, yeah, he's big. Like, he is big, huge. He has a huge fan base. Like, I don't think it's actually out of the realm to say that Jordan Peele is kind of the Kojima of the movie industry. You know what I mean? Like, he has this super cult fan base in the movie industry. And Kojima has this super cult fan base in the video game industry. So, like, them together is just, like, mind-blowing. But seriously, if you would have given me 10 hours to guess who was coming out of that door, I would have never guessed Jordan Peele. That was just, like, the wildest moment. So, that was really wild. I couldn't believe that. So then they show this new Jurassic Park game. And halfway through the trailer, I was like, bro, how cool would it be if they made a Jurassic Park game that was basically like Alien Isolation, but in Jurassic Park? So Jurassic Park Isolation, where you just have like you and the dinosaurs and you gotta escape, and it's like a horror game. And then that's basically what the game is. Like, that's basically, as the trailer progressed, I realized that's basically what it is. It's Jurassic Park Isolation. Like, so that looks really cool. I think people are really gonna like that if they make it good. It could be really cool. Well, if it isn't my favorite adventurer, welcome back, Petra. Lady Manfilio awaits you within the solar. Please enter at your leisure. Oh, I'm leisuring, all right. Then Hi-Fi Rush won Best Audio Design. It freaking better. Then they showed this. Okay, hold on. I am given to understand that the matter of Ramu has finally been resolved. Where's your sister? My fear resolved bespeaks a performance we cannot rightly claim, yet I am well satisfied that the Lord of Levin will not trouble us in the foreseeable future. Your satisfaction is assurance enough for me. How fares the investigation? Well enough. Thancred is sparing no effort. There are many in one, just as you suspected. Their purpose, however, eludes us still. I see. I've been meaning to ask, but is Alice quite well? I feel as if I have scarcely seen her in recent days. Oh, you haven't, and nor have I, alas. Alice has chosen to walk her own path, stubborn girl. But you may be assured that our destination remains the same. And on that note, I take my leave of you. I trust the Baldician report will serve you well. I take it we can proceed as discussed. Why do you ask? You scarce need my permission to act. It's good to see you again, Petra. I have been looking forward to congratulating you on your triumph in the Twelveswood. Owing to your efforts, conflict has been averted. Truly, you have done the Sions proud. With that, we can strike remove from the list. So who's next? The Sahagin and Leviathan? The Lord of the Whirl has not answered his minion's call of late, nor is he expected to do so in the near future. I love that name, Lord of the Whirl. While the Sahagin remain as aggressive as ever, they lack the quantity of crystals required to call forth their god. As with the Sylphs, we can leave them to their own devices, for a time at least. For a time bears repeating, we can ill afford to fall complacent. It is as Ishtola says, unless we know the minds of the beast tribes, we cannot predict with any certainty when next a primal will return to plague the land. This being the case, we must proceed with as much haste as prudence allows. Any word on Titan? The Maelstrom keeps the kobolds under constant observation. We shall hear from them ere long, you may depend on it. Indeed. So then, of all the known primals that have been active in recent times, we are left with... Gridania! Wait, I meant Garuda, who is the primal of the Ixal who live near Gridania. Yes, that's what I meant. Ida. Shut it. So many malms to cover. Would that there were a more efficient way to conduct our surveys. Were he still with us, we should not long have wanted for a more practical solution. She's not wrong there. Where in the world are you, Chief? But one sure step at a time. Henceforth, the Order of the Twin Adder will handle all matters pertaining to the Sylphs under the sage guidance of the Seed Seers. I bid you all enjoy a moment's respite. You have earned it. I'm visiting the land of the whirl. Is there something else, Petra? Check out my new sweater. Beg pardon, a man named Brea, sporting a red mask and robed in black? 12 preserve? Prior to the calamity, the Aegeans took great pains to remain hidden. Why would they choose to cast off their veil of secrecy now? Gods, this bodes ill. We must take advantage of the present lull in primal hostilities and investigate this Brea. Learn all we can from him and his designs. I dread to think... Eek! Tataru! Don't you dare touch her. A sylph? In Thanalan? At long last, this one finds walking one Petra. This one is most dependable of these ones, is sent by Elder One Frixio to help walking ones. This one is called Neuraxia. This one comes as a friend. Let these ones be friends. Pleasure to meet you, Neuraxia. Tataru's sus.